Greetings. Is my mic on? Yes, my mic is on. Excuse me, I just belched. Great way to start a show. Hello and welcome. So I haven't live streamed for a few days. I fell off the wagon, as it were. I think I was just doing it too often. I was doing it every day since the start of January, and just got a bit burnt out. I wasn't obviously when no one was there. It's not quite so enjoyable, right? So I wanted to do this now because, what was it? The best way to get back on the horse is to just get back on the horse. That's not really a saying, but I made it up anyway. There's a lot of light coming in from the side, so some of the video isn't going to be great, but it doesn't matter because I'm just doing this to just start again, basically. Past couple of days I've had quite a lot of computer problems, so I'm also doing a bit of a computer test and all that good stuff. So you just heard during the intro, it was a track I released last Monday. And to be honest, I've not really done much music since last Monday, and I was doing 4 sessions a day. And I don't know if I'm going to release another track on Monday. I committed to it, but I don't know, to be totally honest. Maybe tomorrow I'll be like, quick, let's get some sessions in and release something else. I've got a lot of stuff that is pretty close to being ready. Actually, very close to being ready. So you just heard that video was a little taster video, and it was about a minute of my latest track. And if you would like to hear the whole of that track, please check out this link coming up there to have a listen to it on SoundCloud. So this may be quite short if not really joins in yet. If you're watching a recording of this, you can get involved. I need to basically there's loads of things I need to do. For example, I need to set up some sort of timetable. So when people do want to join, I just have it there and be like, press a button. This is my timetable, and it pops up and everybody knows that I'm doing it. I think I'm going to do it 3 times a week or something like that. And when you want to get involved and make a tune with me, there are some descriptive words. There are some questions that you answer shown here, just there. And it's something that you can think about if you are watching this replay. So without further ado, this is going to be, because there's nobody answering questions yet, see what I mean? There's so much light from there that I've got this on really high, and anyway, I'll just stop blabbing. So I'm going to be kind of going with some randoms here, like the key E, and let's go for another Phrygian dominant or something. And first, let's have a listen to see what that sounds like. It sounds to me... Hello, Sword Man. How's it going? Do you want to make a tune with me? Basically, you answer those questions that pop up, and we make a tune together. And you're more than welcome to download it and keep it as yours. So if you would like to make a tune with me, just answer one of those questions. And if not, you can just listen while I make a tune, basically. So I've Sword Man. I'm just going to call you Sword. I just picked a key. And to be honest, I don't know very much about keys. I can tell you the basics. But when it gets into Phrygian dominant, I've got no idea what that really means. So, but I do know it sounds like this. Which sounds a little bit... That sounds a little bit Arabic, Egyptian, or something like that. So, we may have an Egyptian feel to this tune, but not definite. It's not definite because the sounds are going to be fairly random. Sword, are you still there? I'm just going to have a swig of my coffee. Where are you? Where are you, by the way, Sword? I'm in. It's Saturday, 7 minutes past 5 in Chamonix in France. That's Paris, France time. Right, I'll carry on. And yeah, as I said, if you want to get involved, then you're more than welcome to give me a descriptive word. That's probably the easiest thing. And I'm going to move it up there so it's really easy to see. Brilliant. That's not quite what I expected. Oh yeah, I've had loads and loads of computer problems. I won't go into detail, but I had to reinstall everything. So the past couple of days I've been whoa, like that. And I just pressed something and I'm like, right, that's not what I expected. But I don't know anything about music. Sword, that is perfect. You are exactly the person that is actually the best to work with. So, if you don't know anything about music, that doesn't matter. Basically, you are somebody that listens to music, right? So just give me a descriptive word, and using that descriptive word, I will then look in my library and find a sound that is similar to that descriptive word. It's easy. You don't have to know anything about music. It's all good. By the way, Sword, would you like to have a quick... basically, I think you missed the video intro. And the video intro is a track that I put out last Monday. It's only a minute long. But, yeah, just so you get an idea of the kind of music that I put out there. So if you would like to see that, say yes. And if you would not, just give me a descriptive word. And that's totally fine. So, to start with, I'm just going to CPU battle menu. I don't know what it sounds like. Let's have a listen. Wow, that sounds really nice, actually. Okay, that is, I really like that. Now, I've put the metronome on, and I'm just going to play something. Oh, yes, okay. I'm just going to record this in first, and then we'll watch the video. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now that, I know, was pretty random. Quantize that. Oh, that's interesting. I'm just going to move over to here. So I was using something called Ableton 10, and now I'm using Ableton 11. So it seems to be acting a little bit differently, which is all part of the fun and games, right? So in actual fact, that is the start. That's the start. 1, 2. I like it. It's just really intense. So, Sword, you wanted to have a little listen to the video. So yeah, check out this. This is a track that came out last Monday. Aggressive, Olivia. It is aggressive. Yeah, it was a random sound. It's called CPU Battle Menu. And yeah, I played it. I'm like, I kind of like it. So Olivia Sword over on Twitch was just asking to have a little listen to my tune that came out last Monday. And obviously I need to try and show everyone. So hello, Olivia. Yeah, I've kind of fallen off the wagon a little bit. And for me, the best way to do something is to just fucking do it now. It's like, I think about it, I'm like, just get it out of the way, otherwise I'll talk myself out of it. I've had a couple of days of shit time with my computer and having to reinstall stuff, but that's a whole other shit thing. Right. So, Sword, are you still there? We've got this at the moment. You fell off the wagon too. I fell of the wagon. In what way did you fall off the wagon, Olivia? Sword, are you still there? So we've got that at the moment. Sword, if you are still there, give me a descriptive word. Cool. Yeah. Give me a descriptive word. Just any word that pops to the mind. It could be something that is totally opposite to this. It could be an instrument you like. So it's kind of fun if we do something that's a bit challenging. For example, you might say, well, I want a piccolo. A piccolo is a very small, kind of like a flute. And you'd like, well, how that's going to work with that? And it's like, I don't know. Olivia, I'm taking a week off producing new music. Yes. So, Sword, Olivia and I have been doing this music making course for quite some time, and yeah, it just felt like I was doing it too much. I was live streaming every day and doing loads of music sessions so that I could produce a track every Monday. And I'm fairly new to making music, so yeah, it was tricky. So Sword, I love metal or screaming songs. Okay, well, we have kind of a screamy sound there, and I'm just going to put in scream again into here. Oh, hang on, you can't see. Yeah, I'm going to put in scream into here. Yeah, make a metal song on push. So I've typed in scream and synth rhythmic scream. Let's see what this sounds like. We could actually, yeah, drums. I could find a metal kit. No, that's literally metal. Actually, we're going to use that. Yeah, I was thinking metal as in the style of music metal, but not literally that. Okay, so let's hear what this sounds like. I think that's going to clash with this, but maybe I'll be able to kind of leave some space. So I'll just go back over to here. So if I go a couple of octaves up, whoa. Oh yeah, Olivia, I've got this is Ableton 11, and there are some new things there are some things I have not quite set up yet. So for example, I don't think there's a 1-bar count-in. That was one of the first things. In fact, I haven't used this yet. I was like, oh, let's just go live and see what happens. Count-in, none. Oh, okay. That's good to know. I now have a count-in. So basically, sword, accounting, the metronome sounds similar to that. And the purpose of it is so that I know what the timing is. Because this, you can hear that donk, donk, donk. Before there's drums, it's really hard to hear what the time is, especially if something is not necessarily on the beat. So, I can delete that. Yeah, Olivia, I only actually got Ableton 11 because I wanted to start using my Mac Mini full time. And at the moment, Ableton 10 isn't fully... It's not meant to be fully working on it, so I kind of felt put into a corner. I bought it too, but haven't installed it. I think I'm going to wait a few months until it stabilizes. Yeah, well, you get to see it live if it's stable or not. Yeah, I'm still using my MacBook Pro as... anyway, I digress. Let's have a listen. I'm just going to do something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So one thing I'm noticing, this is Ableton 11. Yeah, it says velocity at the bottom. And it's in lines, which is different, but I don't know. Oh, and there's more information here. Can you see all that? It says Phrygian, all the key and everything like that. Yeah. Anyway, right. So I think the bass sound needs to be quite soft. Because everything else is really... So I seem to quite like going with a good old sine wave. Yeah, let's just go with that. I'm going to play something and see what happens. Yeah, the key problem you were having a month or two back has been solved in... What key problem just remind me of the key problem, because I had a lot of problems and you saw most of them, right? The key problem. Oh, I guess just not. Anyway, yeah, tell me what key problem that was. Let's record this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that bass is actually it's quite cheesy and poppy, isn't it? And that's kind of intentional, sort of. Yeah. I'm just a bit confused. I think this is one of those things that is going to be what's it called? It's an acquired taste. It's like a fine wine. You're just like, is it a good wine or a bad wine? Oh no, it's a very mature wine or something. Anyway, being able to designate a key in live like you can on the push and hide the other notes. Oh, right. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So that's going to be way easier. Yeah. Okay. That's something I have to figure out. Do you know what? I looked on Live 11, and I actually wasn't that impressed. It's like, what, they've got comping, so that just means you just go over and over and you keep recording and it records them all. It's not that groundbreaking, really, but that's just, I'm definitely showing my beginnerism, if that's a word. I just realised the sun's going down, so I can probably turn this light down a bit. Or maybe not. Let's turn it off. Comping is huge. Okay. Maybe I should actually attempt to use it then, or something. Um, Copying is huge. It's not groundbreaking, but for vocal takes, it's a big deal. Yeah. I remember I did. I'm not sure if you DJ at all, Olivia, but I remember I did this digital DJ tips course, and it was called the Pro Mixtape Formula or something like that. And the idea was sword. Okay, cool. Is it? I can turn off the metronome finally. It's all a bit messy, but what I will say, Sword, and Olivia knows this well, this is just an idea. And with an idea, I will record this, and then I can come back to it in like a month or something. And then I can take from it what I will and go, oh, I like that bit and I like that bit. So in a minute, when I put it into arrangement, we get a chance to hear all the different parts working with all the different, with different things. And Sword, you say that, I can't remember what your words were, but it was something like, I'm not a musician, and you apologized. Do you know what? Sometimes musicians enjoy music way more than musicians, because, for example, I've been focusing on making so much music the past couple of months, and I actually haven't sat down and listened to music and just take it in and experienced it. I've just been overanalyzing things too much. So anyway, let's go that way. Is it that way? No, it's that way. Yeah, I need to flip this camera around so it's easier for me to point that way. Let's go over there. There you go. This camera is kind of the right way around. So we're now going to go into arrangement view. And we're going to throw down an arrangement. So they were all loops that I put there, Sword. And to be totally honest, there may have been some timing mistakes, and I quickly pressed quantize just so it put it back into time. Sometimes when things are a little bit out of time, it gives it the nice human element. Sometimes it just sounds rubbish. So I'm going to just record those loops into this arrangement view, and then I'm going to make a super quick arrangement. So these now represent each of those loops that we made. And what we're going to have, I normally start with drums. As I said, this is Ableton 11, and it seems like they've changed something. Before, when I used to press Command and click on that, it would deselect. Like, if I click that and Command and A, it selects everything. Command and the mouse used to deselect things, and now it doesn't. Why would they take that off? That's funny. So it used to be command and click. Select all, select loop, loop selection. Do you notice whether Ableton is slower than 10? It doesn't seem any slower. And I've actually just moved. So very quickly, Olivia, I had a problem with my computer where I only had 35 gigabytes left on my 500 gigabyte hard drive. And then I looked, for example, about this Mac. Sorry, Sword, if this is boring, but if you've got a Mac, it may be... John! How the devil are you, John? I'm just kind of going slightly off the musical thing at the moment. But if you have a Mac, this may affect you. So, I only had 35 gigabytes of storage on my Mac. And out of 500. Now, you can... yeah, I'm okay. I'm... what's it called? I had a couple 8 days. In fact, maybe it was only 1 day off live streaming. But it seemed like a real cop-out. I was like, no, I've given up. I definitely have this internal battle thing going on. Anyway, I only had 35 gigabytes left on my hard drive here. And I looked at things, and system files, which is 45 gigabyte here, was 190 gigabytes. And I was like, that can't be right. So anyway, contacted Apple, and their customer service is good, even though nobody really knew why it was like that. Unfortunately, they said to me, oh, you're best off doing a clean install. And I was like, oh, God. And they're like, well, yeah, you just click and drag everything, instead of migrating. But I totally forgot that you've got to reinstall, you've got plug-in things and all this other shit and settings, OBS settings and blah, 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 all this other crap. Right, I'm kind of digressing. There was a point to this. Oh, yeah. And I said I would say it really quick. Glad you took a break. Yeah. Actually, I do feel better today, although I did wake up this morning and I was like, the fear, to be totally honest, the fear of not moving forward is greater than the feeling bored or frustrated with making music. And I was like, right, I better get on it. It would take me 2 days if I had to reinstall everything. I think it probably took me a day. So, for example, Carbon Copy Cloner, which is something that I use. Have you guys got a Mac? Have you ever heard of that? If you haven't, you need that shit, basically. So where was I? Oh yeah, so 190 gigabytes, and there was only 35 left. They said do a clean install. So I did a clean install, and yeah, the system files were like 20 gigabyte or something like that. And then I did a bit of research, and I found out that it's good for me to put all of my Ableton packs on an external drive, to put Omnisphere, which is 60 gigabyte, on an external drive, and a few other things on an external drive. I have 10 times as many plugins as you. Olivia's got loads of plugins. I think you don't have to re-download and install everything. I think there is ways around it. Although Native Instruments didn't like it, and the Native Instruments stuff didn't like it, so I haven't bothered with that yet. But anyway, my point is, my computer is back to how it was, kind of, and I moved stuff onto an external hard drive, and I've got shitloads of space left, which is all good. So the point of going into this was, if you have a Mac and you have system of like 100 gigabyte or 180 gigabyte. There could be something wrong with your system. One of the things wrong with mine is Carbon Copy Cloner that I'm using had like snapshots, and they were being saved on my Mac when they should have been saved on an external drive. I don't really understand it too much. Anyway, that was a major digression, but yeah, you go to do something and you realize, oh, that's not how it was. How the hell do I get it back to how it was? And all this kind of shit. Oh yeah, so John, this is Ableton 11, and this is the first time I've used it. Of course, do it live. Why not? And so if I click here and then do Command and A, it selects all. And I used to be able to do Command and click, and it would deselect this. And now it doesn't. Why has Ableton 11 done that? I'm just going to read what it's saying. You're in the middle of saying something was missing in Live 11. Oh, right, yeah. So Live 11 seems cool so far. Yeah, the thing missing, I use it a lot, and it's not a big deal for a lot of people, but just, again, if I click there, Command A, it selects all. Then what I used to be able to do is Command click, and it would deselect that. And then I would be able to move all these things across. Control click. So now I'm going to have to try and figure out how to do it. How to deselect a loop. I guess the way around it is obviously click there, shift left click. So what I used to do is deselect that, move it across, and then Command. Oh, it works now. That's weird. Move that across. Command click. That is really strange. Right, I'm going to put this all back. Maybe it's a little buggy thing, or maybe I'm just a mental, which I think we all know is very possible. So, click there, Command A to select all. So, John and Olivia, there's a somebody called Sword that is on Twitch. And Sword, I do apologise. You're probably bored, if you're still there, of me talking too much about software. This is what music producers do. We don't make much music. We just talk about software and plugins. That's funny because it's kind of true. Isn't it, John and Olivia? So I've selected that. Command, click. Yeah, that's weird. Oh, Sword, you are here. Okay, I do apologise. We'll get there. John, you personally love it. What, as in talking about like all the software and everything? Of course you do. We do. We love it. Like, okay, I'm a drummer. That's my first instrument. And drummers love talking about cymbals and holding the drumsticks in matched grip or this stuff. And that this certain bass drum pedal, it's the only one you should ever use. So it's kind of funny. As human beings go, we tend to digress off of the main thing. And I think it was Brendan Burchard that said, keep the main thing, which sounds so obvious. And it's like, the main thing is fucking making music, finishing music and releasing it if you want to. And I've just been babbling on for like 5 minutes about software problems. Anyway, I digressed again. So this is a weird little bug. I'm going to Command A to select all. Command click. and it does not select that. However, if I command click, oh no, it doesn't do that either. Right, that's a weird bug. But I can select there, shift and click, that's okay, move it across, then if I press command and click, it does deselect it. John, you've got the beta of Ableton 11. Can you check at some point, check if you can deselect the clip like I'm doing there at some point? I'll be curious to know, because I use that loads just to, yeah, I use those commands a lot in order to, in this arrangement view, I just, yeah, it's totally automatic. And when it didn't work, I'm like, what the hell? That's really confusing. So what I'm doing now, Sword, because I take it that you haven't done any music production stuff at all. I'm drawing in here the loops. So the drums will play for a certain period of time, and this represents the bass. Oh, that didn't move across. Do you know what? I'm going to keep it like that. And this represents the different loops, and then they come in and out. And then this last loop is going to be across to there. That's going to be there. I'm going to stretch that out. And that's it. So, in a minute, we're going to have a little listen to this. Just cut that off and delete that. Okay. Whoa. Okay, guys, are we ready? I think it's time to have a little listen to it from the top. And again, these are ideas that I've kind of thrown out, not really thought too much about them. Let's see what they sound like, right? I'm just going to turn my mic off and get rid of my face. However, you may see me, if there's a part that I react to, you may see me randomly appear in the corner. Appear and disappear. And there you have it. You probably saw me messing around with the bass. Yeah, the bass was all squiggly. Either it was, I was gonna say something cocky and say either it's really syncopated and clever, or it's just rubbish. Sword, I'm glad you liked it. Again, that is just an idea. Like, anyone can do that. A little bit of rhythm knowledge. The good old quantize button. I'm yet to play with all of the kind of groove stuff within this program, within Ableton Live, where the 16th notes aren't exact, where they're kind of anyway, I'm yet to play with all of that. So thank you very much for joining. So I'm not sure if you other guys have signed up to my newsletter. So anyway, this is to all of you. Below here, I think there's information on the newsletter, but John, swing and all that. Yeah, but not just swung 16ths. Actually, yeah, because you've obviously got straight and you've got swung 16ths, and then you've got everything in between. Yeah, I haven't played with it all that much. But I've done it a little bit where sometimes I'll purposely move all the snare drums back so they're a little bit late to make things sound a bit more in the pocket. And that gives a definite feel. By the way, John, congratulations on your tune you put out. Very cool indeed. If you would like to post a link in the chat so that Sword can check it out if he wishes. And so my newsletter, where the hell is the chat? There it is. If you would like to sign up to my newsletter, then you just where is it? Yeah, follow that link. You can put your email address in, and once a week you can have a look at my newsletter. This whole thing is a work in progress. I don't know where it's going to lead, but it's fun. And basically I was working as a full-time musician and DJ, doing shitloads of weddings and all this kind of stuff. All of a sudden, obviously, the world changed, and I'm trying to find a new way to keep myself busy and earn money. There you go. That's John's link to his Bandcamp. John makes lots of tunes. So, check that out if you wish. Right, guys, thank you so much for joining. I didn't know that this was going to be 45 minutes. I thought I was going to be on here for like 10 minutes and just throw an idea down. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. And keep an eye out. If you do sign up to the newsletter, then you'll know when I make a timetable of when I'm going live. But I think it's going to be 3 times a week. Doing it every day has been really, really good practice for me, getting used to effectively just talking to myself in a room until somebody appears. And it's also been good for me to really see my greyness in my beard. Under these lights, it really comes through. Sword, thank you so much for signing up to my newsletter. Awesome. That's really, really cool. I appreciate that. And so, Sword, when you join again, if it's just us and you're interested, I can take you through a lot slower how you can start making music yourself. I think this program's called Ableton Live, and I think there might be a free... John, thank you so much for signing up to the newsletter. I think, Sword, there might be a free version of Ableton, and you can get started. And you can start with making loops. You don't have to actually play anything. You can get what is called loop packs. And they're like effectively somebody... I don't know anything about music. You don't have to know anything about music. For example, let's say somebody made this loop. just say somebody made that, and you download that loop, and you just put it into Ableton, and you're like, oh, I quite like that. And then, yeah, anyway, you don't need to know much about music, but if you're interested, you can just start to play around with loops and whatnot. Yeah, so maybe in my newsletter, I can sort of give information on for complete beginners. And then I have to think about something for those seasoned people that know way more than me. Of which there are a plethora. Olivia is always super helpful with things. Yeah, awesome. Okay. Can you write the name of this program? Yes, I can indeed. In fact, I'll get a link up for you. Right, there are loads and loads of programs you can use. This just happens to be the one that I use. And yeah, I'm very happy to help. So there's a 90, right, there you go. There's a 90-day free trial. There's a link to it. Now that is for Ableton Suite. You do not need Ableton Suite, but it will give you an idea. Yeah, and maybe the next time we're on, I can actually give an introduction on using loops and only using loops and doing things to make things your own. I actually don't use loops that much. So, funnily enough, I would be learning as I go along. I watched someone that makes music with this program, so I want to try it. Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering if there is... I'm not entirely sure if there is like Ableton Intro, I think it is. That might be free. But anyway, you've got 90 days for free there. So that is all good, all good. Okay, I'm going to sign out. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, keep an eye out for a newsletter. Again, the newsletter is a work in progress. I'm so crap at writing that I thought I'm just going to do videos. So I'll say a little hello and it'll be a video of me going, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do my best. Okay, cool. Have a lovely evening. Sorry, afternoon. I'm going to leave you with the track that came out last Monday. And maybe this Monday I'll put out another track. But to be honest, I've kind of fallen off the wagon because I've been pushing myself a little bit too hard. But anyway, this is the track that came out last Monday. And I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.